what's up? I hope this is actually back on track. So, the electricity interrupted the earlier broadcast. So, I've had to quickly get myself in shape again, and the live chat is not available. So, things are going a bit haywire. Let me close this window. Let me see how I can quickly pull off bringing back the chat. And so the chat is back, I hope. Hey, the stream was but we are back. So where were we? So this here is the video that we were watching. Ne? What is happening out here? Does my channel have a DVC Studios at the bottom corner? Is that how? I just noticed this here at the bottom here. This is my old logo. Oh my gosh. Why is it appearing there? Who put it there? No. I didn't give authorization. I'm sorry. Was it there earlier? What just suddenly happened for it to appear? Do you see it? Yeah, it's right there. You probably can. So the last video here is where the stream ended. Just gonna hop on back to Yase Block B and continue there, and then we'll do another video.
I understand. Mina umuntu osebenza ejele. Ngizokutshela straight. Musukukhohliswa abantu abake baboshwa baphuma ngaphandle ejele.
Preach.
Ma bonke labantu balimele engqondweni, balimele enhlizweni, balimele ngayo yonke indlela ongayicabanga, even physically.
In all the ways you can imagine, including physically.
Bengaguli ndawo. Namhlanje banama chronic disease njengoba ama ex offenders. Abakuvezi lokho. Ayibona yonke le. Bafowethu. Yabona ngizokwenza nje example ngento eyodwa engeke ngayibona ngamehlo enze ngaphambi kwami. Like siyenze ke ihlandleni ngibathi nje ngizochaza kule instance eyodwa. Mina ukuba aware kwami nge-anal cancer, ngibe aware nge-anal cancer since
okay.
The correctional service.
I-cancer yomdidi. Let's go.
And now uma usebenzisa ingqondo, most likely yini into engakhoza ukuthi umuntu abe ne-anal cancer. Ayibona. Lapha engqeni abafowethu baphenduka abafazi.
Oh my God.
Ndakalalo umuntu oyedwa. Enye into kumele.
Oh. Yeah, so that's where the video ended. He was talking about how men are getting, child out in the jail. And it seemed like that video is a trending video. We were watching it on Colbert's channel right here. And I don't know how, but the algorithm has actually recommended the same guy. So we're going to just hop on in there and continue to check out this video that we were watching right here. If you are joining me again, we watched the first one and then we were watching this second one over here. It's really moving. So let's check out what the video is about. And should I, make an intro for this one? If you're joining me and you don't know what's happening, so on the live stream, you're just basically with me in the office. You're with me as I shoot and later put out these videos. So we are here in the studio and I'm about to go in. I'm supposed to do an intro and an ending with a call to action, reminding people to subscribe, like, comment, share, etc. And so the videos will come out in their orderly piece. But you who's joining me on stream will be able to hear and see the director's cut. No, it's not even the director's cut, bro. We're talking about the scenes, behind the scenes. Yeah, truly behind the scenes. So Yo, what's up? Back at you with another video. We are going to be looking at a video here that is trending. Earlier, we went and saw the video on Yasep Block B's Twitter feed. And the brother is trending for exposing the glamorization of the videos, the content on YouTube, where ex-convicts will go onto a podcast and give this telling of what happens in the jails that actually makes it sound pleasing and inviting. And so this brother here is here to put things much more nicely, and we're going to be listening to him in a longer video over here. This is how long? 32 minutes? Is it him talking the whole time or somebody giving the commentary? But let's just go. We're coming to you courtesy of Umkosi Entertainment. Umkosi wasemzansi.
Ukuthi ukukhulume ngabo uthi emajele bangabafazi uthi emajele lokho vele kuyenzeka emajele kodwa ke manje uthi uma kusakazwa nanoma kanjani la kuma einkundleni zokuxhumana abafana abancane baphela ejele kuthiwa yilokhuzane abantu baya rehabilitate manje uma usu rehabilitate usuhlezi ngaphandle uthi ukhuza abafana abancane le ngaphandle bazothini kwena bazothi hayi ikinto siyilalela kuwena ngoba wena ubumahosha ejele ngoba wena uthi 92% wabantu abasemajele sebeke balala 92% wabantu abasemajele bayagula kanjalo yabona ukwehlisa isithunzi sabafowethu lokho yabona akufanele ukuthi ngabe ukhuluma
ngakwazi ukuphendula bafu
ya ungaphendula mfethu
ngicela ukuphendula ne yeah Bekmuzi ngicela ningangiphazamisi ingane zakwethu ne please nineni kufanele
ukuphazamisa
ingane zakwethu
angizokulalela mfethu ngizokulalela ngoba nawe ngiphi ithuba lokuthi ungilalela nami ngizokulalela
sure ngicela ningilalele ningangiphazamisi sharp weBekmuzi mina ngizokubuza umbuzo wodwa bese ngiqhubeka nempendulo ne
yeah
yini ebalekile isithunzi sedepartment yami nesithunzi senu
isithunzi sedepartment sibalekile ngoba
ungachazi lalela wait ungachazi intente angifuni iansende la asike kuma paragraph
okay ngiphendula
yini ebalekile isithunzi sedepartment engiyisebenzelayo nesithunzi sakho as ex offender
ex offender
isithunzi se-ex offender sibalekile
yeah.
Okay, so this video is interesting. It seems the same brother who did the video. He says he works in correctional service. He has gotten some backlash, I think, from guys who have gone on to podcasts, guys who have made names for themselves. And so maybe these guys have felt that they've been shamed. They were getting some popularity. And now the brother is talking about how 90-something% of them have been slept with. They are sick physically and they are also sick mentally. And so some dudes have found issue with that. And it seems when we hopped onto this, I was wondering what's happening. But quickly I realized, okay, this is a live. I thought he was reacting to his own video. I thought that was his own voice playing in the background. But I realized that was somebody else. And so now it's an exchange. The brother's questioning if he really should care about the perceived value of an ex-convict, or should he serve the department that he works for? Should he serve the intention of rehabilitating and to prevent people from committing crimes that bring them there, to prevent misconceptions about the jail being a friendly place where you can walk in and walk out? He's saying, should I do my job or should I care about your ego and how you'll be perceived now going forward? He mentioned even podcast Scheme GP. So that one is a pretty popular dude who has made a name for himself. And so maybe people like Scheme GP feel some type of way, and this is a situation that is moving. Let's hear what more is happening.
Yabona ukuthi mina nawe sifike siphambane lapho mfowami. Wose ngikubeke emgqeni ne. Yabona indoda okhuluma nayo njengamanje bhuti. Le ndoda le before izoba yi-prison order lele yilona ne. Le ndoda le iwumzukulu, iyindodana, iwumalume, iwubaba kwi-society ephuma kuyona.
Yebo.
You understand?
Yeah,
Le ndoda le exactly. Le ndoda le mina unfortunately akusile ndoda eba ignorant towards ama-social injustices kanye nama-social illnesses enzekayo. You understand?
Yebo.
Njengamanje usungikhombisile bra wami ukuthi i-level of thinking yakhe ihamba ifike phi. Mawuzothi isithunzi sakho sibaluleke ukudlula isithunzi se-department. Shuthi i-department yami mayingenasithunzi uthi lezi ingane zenu azinganilaleli lapho zenza ubuhlongandlebe zizongena la bese ziba nesithunzi mhla iphuma la singayikhuluma isinomikayo njani masezila ukhona wena.
Wow.
Iloko kushoyo.
Angiqondi kusho lokho mfethu. Lalela. Akithi uma use
Iyona nto
Don't.
Lalela ngikomodo ngikuphi ithuba lokuthi ukhulume. Akithi umbuzo. Ngiyawuphendula manje umbuzo wakho angeke. Umbuzile ngiyaphendula.
Okay.
Awufuni ngiphendule manje.
Sure.
Awusafuni ngiphendule nkomo. Lalela inkomo. I-department yenu iwenzile umsebenzi. I-correctional angithi. Usho ukuthi i-correctional services has rehabilitated me as an ex-offender. Umsebenzi yabo ngibalekile kumina empilweni yami noma empilweni zabanye abantu ngoba I've been rehabilitated. Sengizalwe kabusha manje ngenxa yenu yabo.
Born again.
Wona umsebenzi senoqedile nini umsebenzi wenu? Nuqedile nje nya akusekho la ngekho khona. Uma ngiphumela ngaphandle emphakathini sengizofika ngikhulume kahle ngiyiphathe kahle kanjalo. Uma ukuthi ngisaqhubeka nobuxhwanguxhwangu nobugebengu kanjalo okusho ukuthi I've not been rehabilitated. Mawusubhekisise kahle abafethu laba abavela lapha kuma podcast abantu ukuthi they've been rehabilitated. Ingakho nje benesibindi sokuthi bona ingakho benesibindi sokuthi baye kuma podcast bafike bakhulume ngempilo yabo abebephila laphana elokhuzana emajele kanjalo. Ongabalekileke ukuthi manje kucekelwe phansi isithunzi sabo. Kukhulunywa ngokuthi bona emajele bebelalo emajele bebeomahosha. Ngoba
Okay, so for you who doesn't understand, I hope you may stick around if you're chilling on the stream, or if you are not very clear and capable of hearing isiZulu, the audio from that video sucks. The brother has responded saying that this is what I mean by our reputation, our ego, our stunzi. He says that the department that you work for is meant to rehabilitate people, to change their lives, and to better them. So I am one of those people, and I've been made whole. I've been born again. He literally said that, says, Nzelogabusha. And now I am an important player in society. I've returned to society, and I'm important and senior to some people. I lead them. By the way, I know a guy by the name of Delisa Bembe. The brother is a guy from Tembisa. When I lived in the hood, I was his customer at this exact venue right here. You see? I would walk right in there and buy some food. And his food was very, 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 very good. It turned out that he had learned that skill from inside the prison. And he's been coming out sharing that as his story. He's been on TV shows, not just podcasts. He hasn't been going out just spitting out the usual stories. He's been telling a success story, a crime to success. You see, he's been talking about being turned around by Christ inside the penitentiary. I remember that every time I would go and be a customer in the kitchen, I would hear a radio, or was it a YouTube channel, that was constantly playing some white gospel worship music. And I always wondered, what is going on here, bruh? Like, what is really going on? What is a black man like this? Because I come from a Christian home, ne? And my mother is that kind of woman. She plays that music, worship music. We enjoy it, of all languages. South African, of course, and English. We consume that. And so there's this particular English segment that I just didn't expect to be hearing. Hillsong from this brother right here. My beloved is the most beautiful. Yeshua. That kind of stuff. And so the brother on this video that we are on is making a claim that I am rehabilitated, my brother, and now you are speaking into my life post what my actions were and post your jurisdiction to deal with me when I was a prisoner. Now I'm a man, I run my own life, and you are speaking ill of me, and so my dignity should be respected. So the brother is now scratching around. He doesn't have a straight face anymore, looking straight into the camera. So we're wondering, maybe he's getting faced by the response. Let's hear what he's going to say.
Lokho uzobehlisa isithukileyo ukuthi manje ucekelwe phansi isithunzi sabo. Kukhulunywa ukuthi bona emajele bebelalo emajele bebeomahosha. Ngoba lokho uzobehlisa isithunzi phambi kweingane zabo. Ikona iyonto engahambisani nayo lo mfethu. Ngo uyabahlambalatha. Kamayamazi. They've been rehabilitated. They've been yeah. Ngoba umuntu orehabilitated lelela mfethu. Umuntu orehabilitated. Umuntu who has been corrected. Akufanele umcele phansi mfethu. Ngoba uyayizama impilo yakhe ukuthi ayiqoqa akwazi ukuqhubekela phambili. Enye into abone engayithandayo. Ndona. Enye into leyo uxola ngani ba?
Mina ngikhulumela yazi mfethu ne uphazanyiswa yimini uqobo lwami manje bafone sengikulalelile. Ngiyakulungela sengikulalelile mntakamane sekwaneleke manje ke sengicela ukuthi ulalele mina ke manje. Uthi ngikutshele le mina into engiyenzayo la kule platform ne ngizama ukukhuluma nabantu, not only abantu abancane kunami, even abantu abadala kunami. Yayizwa leyo nto lapha ejele yonke age group ikhona ejele, noma ngathi una 89 years, as long as usaphila mawukuthi usasave isigwebo uda sigada abantu abangaba omkhulu bethu, sigada abantu abangaba obaba bethu, sigada abantu abangaba obhuti nabangalingana nathi nabancane kunathi. Ya understand? Wemfowethu, inhloso yami yokuvela la ngikhulume the way ngikhuluma ngakhona, ngizama uxwayisa lengane yakho owayizala wayishiya kwintombazane thizeni waboshwa.
Okay.
Ukuthi ingaboni ukuthi wena njengoba uboshiwe lapha iyona ndlela ekumele ihambe leyo. Ya understand?
Kahle kakhulu.
Mina lezi ingane lezi ezihluleka ukunilalela nina abazali, ezingena kuma drugs, ezingena kwi crime, idolize crime because of nina ama ex offenders, enihamba niye kuma platforms lapha niyokhuluma ukuthi nini enirani ijele, ama prison order kahle ayiphukuzeni iwona lalelani la. Enye into futhi engitriggerile ukuthi ngicine ngiza kule platform.
Okay, so he's reaffirming that he's doing this because he's trying to save the younger ones who are listening to these ex-offenders, particularly when they go on to boast about their experience in jail, claims made that the prisoners run the prison. Imagine. And he says, that kind of talk, I'm here to stand against that. So I hope the brother on that side has not merely focused on this offensive projection of who ex-offenders are and what they've experienced, especially their sexual encounters that he's talking about. I hope the brother is able to hear. I hope the guy who is on the defense is able to hear the prison warden here. On a particular point, he's correct, the prison warden. And the brother who is been rehabilitated has a point. The brother has made a shocking generalization a really, really, really astounding one. Perhaps it's important now at this point because the ex-convict is not willing to accept this majority or 95% metric, this measurement that has been used. He's not willing to accept that. And will he say how much this has happened? Is he protecting his dignity as a man to say that, no, this has not happened to all of us? So clear what you have said. Make it known that it's not all of us. We didn't participate, and some of us are able to refuse this. And so that nobody looks at us and generalizes that we are all men who have had it in the backside. Says clear that, please.
Ukuthi nina ngifuna nicacise lento then icace kwi-public ukuthi ikubekeni kube sobala ukuthi lamaphoyisa ayingcela mthondo zenu. Ilamaphoyisa anicela imthondo la a-corrupt la angcolile anenza nicabange ngazathi ni run ijele. Ijele liranwa yiboshwa. Because ubani ijele beliranwa yinina niyiboshwa kanje kumele ngabe iration enidla.
Okay, so the prison warden here is saying, make it clearly known that these claims made that prisoners run the prison, it's not true. You as well, those who go on these podcasts, are making us look like we are member suckers. So he has said, make it clearly known that there are police, prison wardens, who are on their knees sucking the prisoners. So there's a class of people who are monitoring those institutions who are servants to the prisoners. And he's saying that it's not all of us. Some of us are clean and uncorrupted. So here there's a lot developing. It's clear that there's now fingers to be pointed at police officers who are doing that.
La ejele leba sekitchen kumele ngabe nayi ordela yona ani order yona iphoyisa elidingeka ukuze kube naleyo ration isitoro sasejele ukuze sifunction isitoro sasejele ukuze sifunction nikwazi ukuxosha indlala niphile impilo decent ngaphakathi ejele kudingeka iphoyisa lapho ukuze nibe naleyo nto leyo. So le narrative enikhiphayo niletha la kubantu ukuthi amaphoyisa asejele ayahlupheka, amaphoyisa asejele no bribe ngemali nenza yonke into eniyithandayo because of amaphoyisa asejele. Akuwona wonke amaphoyisa asejele. So
it's not all police who take bribes. For people to be eating rations, for people to be having pizzas, it takes a cop, a prison warden doing that. And so he's saying it's not all of us who are part of that. So both these brothers are trying to defeat offenses. They're trying to counter narratives made about themselves and narratives made by each other towards one another. So this one says, I'm a prison warder, y'all are ex-convicts, y'all been banged. Haha. And the prison warder is saying, hey, I was a prisoner and you were actually sucking me. Haha. And so both of them want to dispel those myths.
Ngisebenza kulona ngafikela kobaba bemizi abanesithuzi futhi yabo mina la ngisebenza khona bra wami yeah so ngifuna ukukutshela lento la angizelanga ukuzonesa ama feelings zenu my ex offenders angifisi lele yeah ngilalela mfethu bafethu into engizonzenza ngizokufaka into ezonzenza ngizonifaka kwilokhuzane manje ngizoyimute into yakho noma ngikhiphe la because uyangiphazamisa chief. Nyaringu uyangiphazamisa chief yayibona ile mina ngilalela mfethu ubheke ngcono ngikhiphe la yabo ya ningangiphazamisa yabo ya uzophawula mfethu but into engifuna ukuyicacisa naye ne yekelani lento yenu yokuloke nifuna uku-idolizwa yi-youth la ngaphandle ngamange niwakhuluma kuma-podcast. Ngiyazi ukuthi ozakwethu abaningi bayasaba ukuphumela obala kanje bakhulume the way ngikhuluma ngakhona because most of them or some of them.
Hey, your comment. We got who's Sia Peasy. I like this guy. Dope.
abanye babo bathatha inombolo ejele siyakwazi lokho abanye babo nihwebelana nabo banifakela amafoni nama drugs nazo zonke izinto siyakwazi lokho but akubona bonke akuthina sonke nani ibosho and mina njengoba ngizela kule public platform angizelanga ukuzonesa ama feelings zenu into enkulu mina engizele la kule public platform ukukhuza izingane ezingaphandle ezingalazi ijele ukuthi lento ezi-idolizer eniyitshela zona through ama podcast udoti cause vele eqinisweni noma ningahlabeka nithini some of you guys vele benilento engiyishilo ku video awekho manje ngiwaqambile lapha so manje kuzomela nginesa ama feelings zenu ma ex offender nango omunye ubhekumuzi ungitshela ukuthi isithunzi sakhe simo important than isithunzi se department engiyisebenzelayo ubaleke ngandle ngaka wena ngizoba nendaba nesithunzi sakho i-department yami yenza ukuthi umphakathi uphile safe abantu abanjengawo baqhele emphakathini isithunzi sakho asibalekile emphakathini odlula i-department engiyisebenzelayo kahle nokuthi ngikulalele njengamanje ungikhulumela inyongo chief I understand leyo ungikhulumela inyongo ngoba uzofuna nama usaqhubana nale narrative engcini ngifikisa ku TikTok chief angizelanga uzonesa ama feelings zenu la futhi anizu ngiyaxolisa ukisho lento ngizoyisho ku public live kanje ngiwatholile ama threats ku inbox ngiwatholile ama threats kunina ama ex offenders ngiwatholile ama threats kuma offenders angaphakathi ejele mina ngintshela wena nako ngani zakwethu ne anginanxanani kodwa ngeke ngize ngilivale okwami umlomo ngeke ngize nguvale ekutheni ngikhuluma iqiniso entweni engasiza isizwe entweni engasiza izingane eziningi ukuthi zingamoshakalelwa ikusasa ayikho into ekumele bayi-idolize from nina wena bhekumuzi ayikho into ekumele bayi-idolize from nina maniphuma la ejele into ekumele bayenze abantu ngaphandle ukuthi banitholele i-mental health usizo lwezengqondo ngeke ngakhuluma nge-mental health izolo ku live wami imndeni yenu maniphuma ejele mele basikhe i-mental nisizakale ngokwengqondo ukuze nizokwazi ukuthi ni-integrate ngendlela e-right kwi-society hayi uzofuna ukudefend amanye lento kuzofuna ukudefend amanyala la kulo ku social media nifuna ukwenza ngazathi kunento akunamesi akunanto ekumele sinicabangele ngayo masikhuluma la online
okay
kunama victims lalela wethu kunama victims asala ngaphandle ngoba wasejele awungenanga sikulande esontweni angizi kuzoba nendaba nama feelings zakho ngikhohlwa ama victims la wena wabulala la wena wa rape la wena wenza yonke lento nayenza namhlanje kumele sithi masila kuma public platforms senze ngazathi sishuka court izinto nonke ma ex offenders ngiyanitshela nina ningaphandle naneni lapha ngaphakathi ejele ayikho into enoyenze yongisabisa mina nganza kwethu ingane engizalayo future ye-youth ezayo ngiyayifuna ukuyibona i-bright ingekho idolized ingane zami ngifisa idolize ama ex offender anga understand ukuthi lento wena ijele ulibuka ngendlela yesigebengu mina ijele ngilibuka ngendlela yephoyisa angizukukhuluma into efuna ukuthi wena uyizwe
okay ngeke ngizile
vele ukuthi so control
ngicela ukuphawula kokugcina bese yini Lungi ngicela ukuphawula kokugcina bese ngiyaphuza
kodwa chief
ngicela ukuphawula kokugcina bese ngiyaphuza yini Lungile ngicela ukuphawula kokugcina bese ngiyaphuma into encane nje one
data labanye mfowethu
angizuzocontrol ama ex convict la sibe sisethi narrative very wrong kwi public ngoba singangithandwa yini angifuna ukuthandwa isiboshwa mina angilona leli phoyisa elilambayo eliyolindelela labo 200 no 500 senibanika bona ufuna intshele straight manje angizelanga ngizoncenga ama feelings zenu ngizolini ngicasula la nini
ndona konjani ayehlisa ubuwena la yapha
Bisekambona ngathi ungithole lapha la
ukuphawula
okay
na
ingene qala
akunankinga phela
wazi ungena ngokulandelana
akunankinga phela
alright yangena ke bafethu
ubani ongenayo
OG
bafethu ngala kungena OG
uTrinity sabona nonke panelini now Mr
okuye prison angeke kuze kukwenza usatshwe futhi uhlonishwe instead of ukuthi kukwenza usatshwe noma uhlonishwe ukuye eprison kuyokhanda izilonda ezingasoze zaphola engqondweni yakho nasenhlizweni yakho kanye nakuwena physically ukuye eprison kuyokuhlukumeza ya understand ngayo yonke indlela ongayicabanga yabo ingako ngikhala ngisana ukuyiglorify le ndawo cause guys yabona ungcono lo muntu onesibazi la ngoba siyakwazi ukuphola ngelinye ilanga mayisithinta kanje angezwa lutho kodwa lo nesibazi esisengqondweni kanye nesibazi esisenhlizweni lo muntu loyo unesibazi esingasoze saphola ya understand unesibazi singasoze saphola mntaka. Awu imagine ndoda ne, even though uyisitabane ne, uyaboshwa.
Yeah.
Lobo butabane uyobunyanya ngaphakathi.
Wow.
Uyobunyanya.
Wow, this guy just answered a question I've always had, you know, but I felt it would be disrespectful to ask. He is saying that if you are GAY and you go into the prison as a man, you shall indeed regret or wish to do away with that self of yours, because it shall be consumed there to levels where you don't want. If you like it, you will hate it, he clearly says.
Yokubuyela ingqondo ngaphakathi mase bekwenza ubone kahle ukuthi basenzani isitabane. Uyobunyanya lobo butabane.
Yo.
Xoxela into ongayazi.
Yo.
Uyobunyanya. So nje please dlalela kude nento ezokufaka la Jo. Uthini uArthur? Umbuzo umile sishatanile. Awake ngene profile yakho. Ngiyangibona. Because nginkabe engathanda ukuvuma ukuvunyiswa yabo. Ngiprefer mangiyibonela mina. Manje akungeneli mama la.
Yeah, continue your business, man. Don't be distracted by women.
Uyikhulume ngizwe kahle emadlebeni lento. Yeah. Ngizongena la epage lakho mase ngiqedile ngalo live ngikubone.
Yeah, put that aside.
Kwi next live. So uthini lo monye? Do you have kids? Siswami ngimdala kabi yo. Kwi age ngikuyona ungangibuza le mbuzo lo. Obvious I have multiple kids. Dolly.
Let's skip forward and see.
Manje. Kunengane zalahlekelwa abazali ababulawa. Bebulawa yiwo lama offend.
Okay. Let's pause it right there, ne? Let's pause it right there and return to Colbert and wrap up. So y'all see the brother. That's where we encountered him for the first time. The noble nitpicker. Glad you are part of the chat again. There was a power outage, man. Slick Talk addresses Shebe Shixt. And isn't this Shebe Shit guy relevant to this discussion? He's not an ex-convict. He is, isn't he? He is. Yes, apparently this is an ex-convict. And so this guy is also glamorizing the stuff. And Yasep Block B, Ukolpet, had Slick Talk clipped on the Shebe Shit issue. So there's a whole bunch of goodness happening here. We are all now covering this story. I am Nell, so let's go. We are still in Colbert's business.
The money is just going to keep going down and down because you messed it up for yourself. If losing a daughter wasn't enough, losing money is going to wake you up. Let me tell you that for a fact. Losing money is going to wake you up. Because your label and your team, they were encouraging your bad behavior. Oh, Shebe Shit slapped the fan. Oh, Shebe Shit did this. Oh, Shebe Shit driving drunk. Oh, he did this. It's not shocking anymore. The shocking factor is gone. You've lost your infamy. We don't care anymore. You can fucking throw a bottle at somebody. You can stab somebody. You can shoot at somebody. We don't give a fuck. We don't care what you do anymore. It's not that interesting. It's not that entertaining anymore. It used to be entertaining. It used to be fun. Oh, look at him. Look at him. He's so tough. He's so bad. Ooh, he's so bad. Look at Shebe Shit with a knife. Ooh, Shebe Shit just slapped that fan. So fire. He's so bad. He's such a tough guy. The tough guy act has run out. And how long can we use the product of his own environment excuse? How long can that excuse rock? Oh, he's just a product of his environment. That's all he knows. That's all he knows. He grew up like this. He can't help himself. No, you're a grown man. You're like 30, bro. You're a grown man. We're not gonna give you some fucking sympathy talking about product of the environment. You lost a daughter and you kept continuing the same behavior, and now you're trying by all means to try and seek relevance. Crystal meth is not gonna make your problems go away. The money is going down, and the car that you're driving, the installments, they're due, bruh.
Oh yeah, y'all remember there was a video where Shebeshit went live and he was seated and I think he stood up, and when he stood up, people saw what they call a skateboard, which is paraphernalia to consume crystal meth. And so, yeah, he is somebody who is forming part of this discussion. This brother here that we've just looked at is very relevant to speaking to this situation. Let's hear one more portion here that we didn't get to hear from Slick Talk. Yo, Peggy, I appreciate the work, Krotman. I do too, man. Hey bro, please do these live videos every day. I usually watch your videos to study and catch the latest news. Cool. That's also from Biggie. I'll definitely be with you on them, man. Should have been my first uninterrupted full day from 10 until 5 stream, but the electricity went off. I went outside to go sit in the sun a little bit. But we'll discuss this off... should I say off camera? No. I'm currently shooting a video on this, and so we will speak a bit. I'll share with you my experiences and things off camera. I don't intend for that to interrupt the stream much. So back to Shebeshit. Thank you for watching, bro. Thank you for watching. This will come every day.
Talking about Shebeshit. Your boy's going broke and he's getting desperate. He's getting desperate. Shebeshit. Don't think we don't see the plot. See, some people might think, this guy is so trouble. He's such a gangster. He's such a tough guy. Let's speak the truth and let's be honest, Shebeshit. You're going broke. You're not getting gigs anymore, and streams are not looking the same anymore. You were popping in 2023, 2025 now, and you're not as popping as you used to be. And let's be honest, now you're doing each and everything to trend. I saw a video of Shebeshit leave like his crystal meth thing on the live twice. We all see the plot, bro. You're trying to be infamous. You're trying to seek relevance. You're trying to trend. You're trying to get gigs.
Wait, so if it happened twice, you're saying that he's leaving it there like he's trying to give an impression? He's trying to transfer. He's not actually on crystal meth. He's acting like he's this guy who can be on camera and be popular and be a criminal and be on meth and still be able to drive a car and get over the death of his daughter. So he's a machine that is just grinding forward. Itela Gufa, who fears nothing, who has lost everything, and now he's even smoking and coping and drinking and driving. I saw drinking and driving as well. Drinking Savannah, you know? So, hey, this is happening. This is real. This is bad. But Slick Talk says that this is all an act.
Because the people around you, your label encouraged your fucking bad behavior. That's what happened. They were encouraging your bad behavior. Now you're no longer getting gigs anymore, and it's affecting the bottom line. It's affecting the money. You're not making money anymore because you're a liability to promoters. You're a liability to brands. Shebeshit, you are in the red zone. You are not worth the trouble anymore.
Wow.
In 2024, or was it 2023, when you were just off MacG's interview, you were hot as lightning. You were fire. You were getting gigs. Your videos were trending everywhere. Things are not the same anymore, and you have to do these tricks to try and seek relevance, to try and seek promotion so you can get gigs. Because number one, you know where in hell would you get brand deals. You know that for a fact. You can wear all the Nike you want. You can wear all the Nike from head to toe, whatever. Nike in their right mind will never come near you, bro. Nike will never come near you because you are a liability. You are liability, and you messed it up when you stabbed that one person in the club or something. You used a knife, you stabbed him. That was the end of it for me. When I saw that video, I said, this guy is done. And now you fucking getting high on fucking crystal meth, trying to ease the pain, trying to forget about your problems. The money is just gonna keep going down and down because you messed it up for yourself. If losing a daughter wasn't enough, losing money is gonna wake you up. Let me tell you that for a fact. Losing money is gonna wake you up.
Wow. No, man. Slick Talk definitely went in on him. So, yeah, man, let's bid farewell to Yase Block B, man. We'll be back to check out his content as time goes. You understand what I'm saying? Or should you look at one last one? Is this Tudula? It's a quote. I hate foreigners. How I wish. All right. I'm Corbett is bringing the content, yo. I hope you're loving it. Let's check him out.
Drugs when he was 14 years old. He got injured while he was on the streets. This is when he got banned.
Oh, I'm so sorry. What happened?
He said because he didn't have something to eat or to smoke, actually. Then he went out and he went and stole cable. Then not knowing that by that time the power is coming back. Then that's when the power struck him. And this is him.
Do you know what exactly he's smoking?
He said he smokes, what is it? Is it crystal? He said it's crystal.
She's drug. Wow.
Whatever that he gets, that's him.
Hey, Corbett is bringing them. He's on theme. He's on message.
He's an intelligent somebody, you know. Then I don't know what went wrong. Then to tell you the truth, I hate foreigners.
It's not Tudula, it's a BBC documentary with a mother.
I hate foreigners and the government is doing nothing. Being a single mother, seeing your son like this, I hate foreigners.
Don't hate a group of people.
Go and leave our country.
My mother hate criminals.
Just leave our country.
The Germans would leave, the Pakistanis,
Our kids have turned into zombies.
the English, the French,
But I'm
black and
wondering
white.
Why? You know, you said you hate foreigners.
Most of them are selling drugs. You can ask my son. He will tell you.
Most are selling drugs.
I'm thankful to Tudula. Because Tudula that's the only thing that keeps me going.
It's Tudula. Yes. So it's Tudula. Okay. Yo, man. It's hectic. It's hectic out here. It's hectic out here, bro. It's hectic out here. It's hectic out here. We'll talk about foreign nationals and the dynamic that is playing out in South Africa. We're seeing it as well in the United States. But we came here to check out Colbert's channel, and we will leave it there for now. So, ladies and gentlemen, hope you enjoyed the brother. Hope you visit his Twitter page over there, and you follow and you click that bell notification so that you may get the content that he's bringing. You can see that he's thought about it and he's bringing some good value, themes, and a particular message. So, hope you like, hope you comment and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. And yeah, cut. So now, I'm chilling here with the wife. She just woke up and I told her to sit here where you'll be able to see her but she says she's crusty. My wife can't be crusty for nothing. My wife is beautiful. She's not crusty at all. I mean, she's in her old gowns and whatever, and I should buy her new ones, but she looks absolutely beautiful. I said this in the other video when I was commenting about the Ndlovus, that I have a beautiful wife and I picked a beautiful woman because I understand that attraction is important in a relationship. And so I am attracted to my wife. She's pretty and she keeps my eyes off of other women to the best of her ability. So her beauty keeps me holy. I appreciate it and I pay attention to it alone. Baby, come sit here. You just be on stream, so nobody. I just want like attention. What? When people hop on and they see two people, I won't engage you. I won't get us to talk about the marriage and whatever. Plus, I'm off duty right now. I'm gonna find the next video and then we're gonna hop into that. And you've got Dumela to the family, to the wife and the family. So they can see you. She's there eating oats. Good morning, wife. Hola. And then this is the content we need. We need to see more families working together. And Sia Peasy is laughing there at the story I just told about my wife and her beauty and why I love it and I need it. If I duck out of the way, the camera will track her. No, but the autofocus point, I've made it to look for focus here. So that's why she's guaranteed kind of not to be seen by the camera. You see? Thank you. Thank you guys for watching and thank you for appreciating. What do y'all want us to watch? Let's just roll the dice. Yeah? Let's just roll the dice. Okay, so yeah, there's a lady here by the name of Wenzi Royal. So Wenzi, I came across her. I think she commented on my YouTube and then I went and visited her channel and I saw that and even her thumbnails, you can tell from them that she's giving that video essays. If you've ever watched intellectual YouTube, you'll find that there are these people who will do deep dissections of an issue, like people who have done the PhD. You know, if you've had to write a thesis to research something and actually bring an academic contribution. So there's the skeleton of knowledge, and those who are academics in the universities, as you study the subject, as you study the skeleton, you are going out into the world and fetching some skin. And each one is making a contribution, laying some skin, and then the subject is getting better known thanks to its professors and its students. So PhD people, those people are nothing to play with. That is education on a real level. So maybe I'll just introduce a channel. Hey, she's got a long video, 41 minutes. Yes, this man. 41 minutes is a long time. So my sister, I don't holler at you. I'll check out your video in time. Tlamulo Ndlela, Mighty Jamie. We know by now that Tlamulo wants 3 million, right? The story is a bit old. Is it? Yeah, I think it's a bit old. Let's keep searching. We'll find our next video. We'll find it. There's Nota there on a podcast from 2 months ago. Marcelo Simon show. Who's Marcelo Simon? I wonder. Did these guys link up? As Trevor Noah finally opened his mouth about South African issues, the totally very real white genocide in South Africa with Dan Corder and Eugene. Y'all remember, Mus, we were busy asking, yo, Trevor, you've got such a huge platform, bro. what are you saying about what is happening? What is going on? And he was nowhere to be found. But since he's been talking, or I haven't seen him, it has been long since he came back. Should we hear like 5 minutes of it? Yeah, maybe let's do it like that. Yeah, let's do it like that. So now, babe, this is the behind the scenes. So now camera is not rolling. We are just live. And then we actually go. This is all wacky and confusing. We are live. But in order for me to keep the videos in that same style that I was having, where it's a full package, Dumelang, tara tara tara, goodbye, thumbnail, title, subject, all in one place so that people can digest these things in bits and pieces, so that it doesn't feel like such a huge change now that I'm streaming. Because when I'm streaming, I just flow from topic to topic. I just ramble on. But I don't want to upload a video where I've just cross-faded from the last topic into the next one without people, feeling like they've been introduced to what is happening, because not everybody will be watching this stuff from the beginning to the end. So now you are the director. Say action. Hey, what's up? Back at you with another video. Have you been noticing the silence from Trevor Noah ever since the issues and rumors of the white genocide came up? Have you ever at any point seen people asking the question, what is he to say? Where is he in all of this? Having been a big talk show host in the United States in front of such a large audience, being a South African, isn't he necessary in this conversation? Is he saying anything? And we saw nothing for some time, and that really was starting to look like something strange about Trevor Noah and what we know about celebrities. You know about the celebrity who stands for nothing, right? I'll play you that video if you haven't seen it. It's one funny thing. And maybe Trevor Noah cares about something, but why didn't he just post all along? Is he catching up? Do we forgive him because he's now said something? Like, what is the reason for his silence? Will he actually tell us that? We're here for just 10 minutes of this video, and then we'll be out of here.
This message is a paid partnership with Apple Card. Here's one reason I think Apple Card is good for your wallet. It's designed to support your financial well-being. It's a no-fee credit card that offers smart payment suggestions to help you pay off your balance faster. Plus, you can get daily cash back on every purchase every day, so you can stress less about money and focus more on enjoying life. Apply for Apple Card in the Wallet app on your iPhone today. Subject to credit approval, Apple Card issued by Goldman Sachs Bank USA, Salt Lake City branch. Variable APRs for Apple Card range from 18.24% to 28.49% based on creditworthiness. Rates as of January 1st, 2025. Terms and more at applecard.com. No, guys, at my Pick and Pay, they know me as the kid who used to shoplift. Do you know what I mean? So at that Pick and Pay, when I walk past, they're like, where now?
Cash Patel.
I hope this time you come
can extradite this man. Not a crime.
I saw Trevor Noah, even Trevor Noah. He admitted criminal, used to be a criminal in South Africa. He used to steal all the time. I wonder if we could do something. We could probably do something. We gotta look at this.
Cash, do your job.
God, do your thing, Cash. Do your thing. He admitted it on camera. He admitted it.
This is What Now with Trevor Noah.
For every conversation, he leans in. Eugene, I'm telling you, bro, we need to make that show. He leans in. Come on, gang. That's all. Yeah? He investigates all the claims. What you doing? He leans in. Eugene Koza is local detective. How much? How many?
Do we need to report these funds?
I'm also sensing that Eugene only asks questions of 2 words. How much?
Yeah, that's Eugene.
How many?
That's Eugene.
When last? It's just
That's when you get in.
questions.
That's when you get in. Dan, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks,
I
man.
apologize that you met me on a day that I'm with Eugene because it means anything can happen here.
Good.
But I think that's the perfect setting for a conversation about genocide. About not just genocide, guys, but a white genocide.
The white one.
A white genocide.
The Woolies genocide.
Which, as we know, is the worst genocide of all.
You know of which, how many have you committed this week?
Me.
Apparently there's a lot of them in this country.
So personally, I always start my week with a genocide or 2. All South Africans. This is what we do. You know, my father always used to tell me, Trevor, you must do genocides.
Sorry, you're Swiss, father.
You know, Dan, don't spoil the jokes, bro. Why are you spoiling the jokes, Dan? Now I have to reveal to everyone that my father was a white man who lived in South Africa and loved it. Damn it, Dan! You're spoiling the narrative, Dan.
I thought it would have been an interesting narrative arc
Dan.
if the Swiss white man is also committing
Dan.
white genocide.
This guy, you're revealing my backstory, Dan.
Oh, no one read the book?
No one.
Everyone read the book.
But okay, so this you know what? This is what I found particularly strange about this conversation. A lot of the time I'll have a conversation with people and we're trying to like figure something out moving forwards. I feel like for this conversation, we're trying to figure something else. We're trying to figure something out backwards, right? Because I'll just put people on the timeline. So I know a lot of people in America, a lot of people in the UK, etc., are going, what is happening in South Africa? A lot of people are like, we heard there's a genocide. We heard that white people are being mass slaughtered. There's the whole thing. So then the whole world woke up. So you guys live in South Africa. I was in New York. Then I saw the stories start bubbling. So obviously I follow South African news. But you know, there's stories where it's like, guys, they don't come. Like ESCOM doesn't come. The story doesn't actually come to America, right? This story started overlapping. And slowly you started to realize that it became part of the news, like international news, okay? Then it was interesting. International journalists stepped in and said, we want to get to the bottom of what's happening because how could a genocide be happening under our noses and we don't know about it, right?
Ayo, so Trevor was aware and watching the whole time as the questions were coming. And sorry, I got distracted for a moment. I think I should go live on TikTok as well. I intend for this stream to also go out on TikTok. So there's a way to just stream both at the same time without any extra strain on the hardware, any extra requirements for hardware, nothing, no extra plugins whatsoever. Everything I have can allow me to just do this on both platforms. I could do it on more, but then I'd have to pay a certain subscription to allow me to go further. Or get a beefier PC, because the reason why these services are paid for is because you're either handing over the compute of broadcasting to your computer does the heavy lifting, or if you have a cheap machine, then you hand over one stream to computers in the clouds via a platform like Restream, and their computers will then be handling the multiplication of your broadcast to all of these other places. So TikTok requires me to at least do what? Be live every day for like 3 days. And then it'll open up the feature that allows me to broadcast from inside the software. You understand what I'm saying? And be able to share everything that I am doing. So I'm just working on those broadcasts. So if you can hop on over to my TikTok, you'll see that I just went live over there.
So
3,
the BBC,
2, 1.
CNN, you name it. Yeah, I was even getting requests. People were emailing me, hi, Trevor.
Are you safe?
We heard there's a genocide.
I didn't ask if you're safe.
No one asked if I was safe because they're like, we know where you live.
It would be incredibly funny if Facebook asked you to check in as a white person each day about whether you were still breathing. That would be very good.
But what was interesting was as quickly as it blew up internationally, it dropped off.
I saw conversations everywhere. One of them was obviously you went on Piers Morgan.
Yes.
I went to my house.
You were in your house. And I don't know, maybe we start with this. Were you shocked, Dan, when you go on Piers Morgan and you're coming there to talk about the fact that there is no genocide? There's a whole panel of other people, you know, who are like half of them are there to say there is a genocide, and then they go, there is no genocide. So maybe that's where I want to start. Like, how is it that there's a conversation that's going all over the world about a thing that isn't actually happening? And I don't mean like isn't happening like some people feel it is, some people isn't. No, it isn't actually happening.
At all.
So how did this start?
Yeah, so I think that over the last 10 years, a raft of genuinely very talented grifters in South Africa have snake oil salesmen this idea without saying it themselves on the last step. So someone like Ernst Ritz is very clever. He will twist the data and decontextualize facts to make it look like something particularly bad is happening. And then he will go on Jordan Peterson and Tucker Carlson, and he'll never say there's a white genocide. He'll stop just before and then let people fill in where he's directing it to. Similarly, most of this cuck has taken place on the dark place formerly known as Twitter, like aided and abetted by Elon Musk. And on Twitter, these big established public voices who need to have a degree of tetheredness to reality stop just short of saying this is the worst thing ever. Like with these race laws, they stop just short of saying there are more race laws than apartheid, therefore it's worse than apartheid. But then they let the anonymous bot troll campaigns on Twitter, which are sometimes just useful idiots, but sometimes paid for campaigners, jump to the last level. So there was this X account called Twatterbaas, there still is, and Elon Musk reposted a lot of his stuff. Twatterbaas was just lying about a bunch of things. But what happened was the public figures did the groundwork to allow the lunatics to then lie on top of what they were saying. And then it ended up being Musk repeating and sharing these kinds of nonsense ideas all the way into the White House. And then when Trump went executive order time, that's when it became around the world.
Yeah, that's when it became.
Because frankly, I just feel like Trump and his right wing love a white victim. All of their immigration stuff in America is about be terrified of the brown person, be terrified of the non-English speaking person. They love a white victim. But it's hard to find white victims, guys. The history of the world makes it pretty hard to find white victims. But if somebody could come along and concoct the downtrodden, tragic, in danger white person, beleaguered in South Africa, and we can save them, then that ticks all of the boxes for that kind of campaign. And I don't know if you noticed, but it seemed like every single time for about 2 months, Trump had a bad day, he then tweeted about South Africa. We were the punching bag to change the narrative, to distract away, to misdirect from the other stuff that was going on in his life that would look dangerous. So I think that we were useful fodder. The way that like our diplomat Ibrahim Rasool and then special envoy Mbisi Jonas suddenly got covered by Breitbart News and Fox News. They were turned into these dangers because it was very useful to fit the kind of MAGA narrative.
But what happened 10 years ago? What am I missing? Like what? Like I get that we're saying something started, but why did it start? I'm still intrigued by the why of it all. Do you know what I mean? Like, what is the purpose of starting a campaign to say there's a genocide where there is none? When was the first time you heard about it?
Nami, I was the same.
When did you get the email?
No, I'm being serious.
Nami.
No, but I'm being
Nami
serious
was
though. When was the first time you ever heard about like white genocide in South Africa?
It was this year. It was when everyone caught onto it. I almost felt like I was part of living in another country because I looked outside and I was like,
that's crazy.
Where is this thing happening? And I checked on my neighbor. She was fine. But she hasn't been fine for a long time. Mentally. 4 cats, 1 lady. I was like, what? If it were to happen, it would start at number 43. But it wasn't happening. But I get what Dan is saying. I think there's a lot of victimhood that's going on. And a lot of what people don't speak about in South Africa is the minority that oppressed the majority is still playing victim 30 years later. That was the surprising thing. And I was saying to you the other time, I was like, the genius of this whole concocted plan was for the former oppressor, who still oppresses some other people, to get an apology and a guarantee of nothing will happen to you. Whereas they've never apologized. They showed me how organized they were as an Afrikaans community group. They have universities, they have unions, they have legal aid, they have everything.
They speak collectively.
But they've never said collectively, even after when apartheid was declared a crime against humanity, we are sorry for what our culture and our nation has contributed to the people of this country. But they could organize and say...
I noted.
Can I tell you what I find interesting is...
Ayo, comments, because I've been on TikTok Well, actually, I did pause the stream for a little bit because there's other people joining on TikTok, quite a few, and they don't stick around for quite a lot. So I muted the sound so that I can talk to them, so that I don't distract from what we are currently doing here. But let me just read some comments while we're here. So, narratives of that nature need to be sustained to make a real impact. You are commenting about how it just fizzled out and no one really cared, because there is no real genocide. A genocide sustains itself. It's horrific. It's tiring for people to hear about it. People sleep with one eye open and the world is caring. So if it's a fake genocide, people need to keep talking about it because there's no evidence of it. That's why Chris White exists. He needs to sustain it, but even he can only seem to contain it among people who'd already be prone to such nonsense. Yeah, so he's not able to farm outside of the soil that is fertile for that type of rubbish, right? True. There you are. Okay. So let's continue. Thank you for that input. Thank you for that input. So Trevor has addressed this, yeah? And glad to see this, but he came in so late. Why didn't he go on Piers Morgan? You see, I don't mind that Dan Corder went, but this is a question that was raised by Ronaldo Hoos as he was giving criticism about Dan Corder and why he's a white guy who went on to Piers Morgan to go speak for a black country. You know, Ronaldo is able to nitpick at these, you know, differences between white people and black people when it matters, when he needs to get Dan Corder in some kind of trouble, or when he needs to project Dan Corder as some kind of performative, somebody who's just acting it, but is not really caring, somebody who's a grifter. He's able to say, hey, you, why are you a white man going on Piers Morgan talking about black people's issues? You see? So that raised the question. I was like, okay, was there really no one else who can do it? Dan Corder, totally. Appreciate you, man. You went, you did good. And this is not particularly a black issue. This is about a group of Afrikaners who made up some story about themselves, and a white guy who knows their culture, who knows their fears, who know how they propagate their fears through organizations like AfriForum and Solidarity, who understands their dynamic. He went on Piers Morgan to clarify that, and being a white guy was actually dope and totally fine for me, because Dan Corder himself also made comments on the South Africa's ambassador to the United States being made a white guy because there's a white president, and Ibrahim Rasool being a Muslim, and brown people are looking bad right now. They're not looking fashionable in the United States. People were suggesting that, hey, just send a white guy over there. Send a white guy. And I covered that. Later to see Dan Corder himself respond and say, hey, maybe sending a white guy wouldn't be such a bad thing, because think about it. Who better than maybe a white guy to say, listen, my people are not oppressed. I come from there. That is not in existence whatsoever. Because it would look like a black person is in denial. They would say that a black person is a black radical. You know what I'm saying? So, who could have gone? Could it have been Trevor Noah?
I'll do shows like in random places, right? Some more random than others. But let's say if I'm in Australia somewhere, whatever, a lot of South Africans will come. Yeah. And it's a broad range of South Africans. And I don't even mean this in like I just go, this was a system that was well run. It was supported. I mean,
who voted for this?
I'm just like,
where are they?
Yo,
like where are all the people who have to have voted? I can't find a guy.
I can't find 20 of them. even the people you're talking about who are now leading these like pro-Afrikaner, pro and like extreme. Because I mean, we've got to be careful. Like, you can be pro-Afrikaner,
totally,
but not be like a heavy nationalist. And so there's like a split there. You know what I mean?
100%. Yeah.
But even the groups that are running far right leaning, if you say to them, "Do you support apartheid?" Then they go, I never. That was a terrible, terrible time. And I never, even then, I didn't. I had a picture of Mandela on my wall.
The Ravonia trial picture, because he was in jail for 27 years.
I'm just like,
grainy old picture. The one that you get at Robben Island in the suit and the quarry. Everyone had that picture.
and they're like, I would have voted for him 3 times
I would
if
have, if I could have. If I could have. Mandela was a great, great man. So I like this is the thing that gets me, and maybe that's what we need to spend our time digging into. It's going to be fun. It's like
the Afrikaans accent.
No, it is a great accent actually.
100%.
But it's like, you know, Dan, when you talk about like white victimhood, it's been interesting seeing how this story stitches across the Atlantic Ocean, stitches across, you know, like across the top of the African continent. Everywhere in the world, people have a story of being, you know, subjugated, oppressed, something. It's the story as old as time, right? But some of them are like straight up just pillaging, as my friend Eugene likes to say. Big fan of pillaging. No, there was a lot of pillaging, but then there's a few instances where people were actually like oppressed because of who they were.
Systematically.
Yeah, like systematically oppressed, right? It's interesting how the label of victimhood, or like the coat of victimhood, gets to be worn most proudly by the people who are generally the perpetrators in these stories. So here's something I found interesting. We like to think of Trump as being an outlier because Donald Trump. So here's something
Hey, look at Dan Corder. Does he look comfortable? Like, as a white guy standing behind these issues and knowing properly the history, admitting it, and being content, understanding that that's a portion that you get served as a white person in Africa. There's a history of how your people came here, and it will be spoken until the end of days. Humanity throughout the ages has always sought and attempted to record huge events in the caves, hieroglyphics. They are showing and recording a screenshot of a certain time. And so till today, we are able to see there in Egypt that there were supernatural beings who came there, and there was supernatural activity that happened there. The Egyptians encountered magic and powers from the realm. So what has happened between white people and black people and Cape Town as it exists, that rich little corner there where they first stepped foot and where they've always stayed since then, it's evidence, you know, of our life and what has happened. It really is. Even our country is set up in such a way that you can see, oh, these roads, you think white people had come here to provide infrastructure for black people, but these were these lines on the map that you can see heading towards the port. That's how they were loading minerals the hell out of here. You know, shipping things and making their veins convenient to take minerals to build their countries over there. But then all of those people are dead now. Colonel Chris Wyatt came in and said that majority of South Africans were born after 1994. So the population living right now, most of it has no claim, a direct claim of victimhood like that. And the current white people who are living in the current time, most of them do not have a direct complicity. So we're not all direct victims, and those who are alive are not direct perpetrators. But we're still having this conversation among one another. You understand? And it can get uncomfortable. And that looks like it's the face Dan Cotter has on over there.
I found interesting. We like to think of Trump as being an outlier because Donald Trump is the one who rescued, what is it, 49 for now?
It was actually 59. I don't know why they didn't count it properly.
It was 59, right? 59. Yeah, I always thought it was 59. Then people started saying 49 at the airport.
Know.
Maybe 10 changed their mind. I don't know. But okay, the 49 or the 59 who were rescued, quote unquote.
Yeah, the refugees.
A lot of people in America were saying to me, like, oh my God, Trevor, it must be so strange for you seeing, like Donald Trump. Then I was like, it's not that strange, considering that Bill Clinton's administration gave thousands of visas to white South Africans only just before we had our first elections.
How?
Just think about
That
it for a
hatch
second.
was open to escape, yeah.
Just think about it for a second. South Africa had just become a democracy. The world stage had agreed that apartheid
is bad,
was a crime against humanity. The whole world had done this. But just before the election, Bill Clinton's administration, not Donald Trump, Bill Clinton's administration rescued 2,000 white South Africans because they were like, hey man, we know that you were the bad guys, but we've got to help you escape from this situation.
Because now there's about to be different blood in the bloodbath.
But you see what I'm saying? Like I'm just like,
Bloodbath had already happened. And now they're like, there might be white blood in this bloodbath. We have to get
yes,
them
but
out.
there's never been. Okay, maybe I'm wrong, but there's never been. Dan, I don't want to put you on the spot.
As a what?
As a white.
Oh,
as
no,
a white.
Don't worry, as part
Someone
of
had
my
to say it.
as part of my training.
Cue genocide.
Every morning I recite the names of every white person who has ever died in South Africa. So you can ask me about any white death.
So let me ask you this. Like, maybe there's something I don't know about. Like, when you are hanging out with white...
Yo, comment from Michelle Lee says, Mandela way too. They like to say Mandela would be disappointed in us. And I heard somebody share the joke. I grew up actually hearing this. Some white people, when you come across them, and I was a kid, and I'll try to engage nyana in a conversation about Mandela, racism, apartheid. One of them I remember specifically saying, Mandela, if it was possible, I would have voted for him twice. But this current government, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I didn't know that it was white speak. It was Afrikaner talk. People were going around doing that. It was, a means to, exchange pleasantries with a black person when you come across them. And you have to affirm what they know. Like when you travel abroad, if people don't know South Africa, the next thing you'd say, to find some commonality, you'd say, hey, do you know South Africa, Nelson Mandela? Hey, if they don't know Nelson Mandela, hey, the World Cup 2010. Yeah? Waka waka, hey, and they'll be like, yeah. And now you all have some kind of interaction. So that's what the old white people were doing. Yeah.
White people alone.
Playing
like,
us, yeah.
You live in Cape Town, or you spend a lot of time there. Very white there, right?
Yeah.
Not good or bad, just very white. When you're hanging out with like a group, like when white people are alone in South Africa, do they think genuinely that they are being targeted? Like, honest question.
I think that
For being white.
Yes, I think many white people do. I will say that all my friends know my politics. So they're on, like all of my friends are pretty much my politics. So in my friendship circles, no one is saying, oh, it's so hard, it's so horrible, it's so terrible. But I know because I've run WhatsApp lines when I was on 5FM, which is a historically white radio station.
Yeah.
Breakfast show host there, my TV show, The Quarter Report and everything, that a lot of people do feel that way. But it's some kind of fear of the destabilization of their privilege. Because the fear is, as more and more black people become middle class, more and more black people become, get to the same level of wealth, and then white people think, okay, but what if I one day can't get a job? One day BEE does this, whatever. And I wanted to circle back on this, actually, to your question of what happened 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I think that what happened was South Africa had the 2010 World Cup. We waka-waka'd our way into our peak.
Yes.
Jacob Zuma came to power. Yeah. And finally, there was a black president who was all the bad things that white people thought black people were about.
Oh, yeah, okay.
That's what happened. The state capture stuff, the Zuma corruption stuff. Suddenly, the Rainbow Nation was popped. Nobody says that anymore. Nobody says Rainbow Nation anymore. That beautiful brand thing, the Desmond Tutu, the Mandela, then the Mbeki.
Yeah.
And then 2010 happened. K9's Wave Your Flag was much better than Shakira's Waka Waka. We all know this to be true. But those two songs happened. The World Cup was incredible. We did the Dream Rainbow Nation thing. And then service delivery started to collapse. Rampant corruption started to happen. The police started to fall apart. The whole country started to go, things are not going very well. But many white South Africans had the dangerous black president they've been terrified of since the beginning. And that opened a space.
That's interesting.
It opened a space for white grifters to then go, we're in trouble now. They're coming for us. They're persecuting us. White economic empowerment, Bell Pottinger. All of this was fodder for white grifters to say, they're coming for us. We told you. We know the blacks were nice before this.
Bell Pottinger was white monopoly capital. Apparently they say it's Bell Pottinger. Was that a PR company that made it so that a lot of people and media companies and Julius Malema, did Bell Pottinger assist Julius, or did Bell Pottinger tell Julius to say white? What's the claim about that? So he made a mistake there. He says white economic empowerment. It's their threat is BEE, and the claim the threat to white people in their eyes is black economic empowerment, which will leave us without jobs, and the claim that we've got a monopoly on an economy, mean that white people as a whole. And so, you know, Ronaldo said that there's, if you really think about it, do all white people own land? Do you understand monopolization? I wish you could accept that a monopoly exists. We saw it in the level of concentration. South Africa's market is said to have reached saturation, concentration, meaning that too few people have basically everything. You know, when a group of guys, shareholders, maybe 1,000 of them, own the Joshua Door. You know, the Joshua Door group owns Incredible Connection, I think Bed and what City. So however many they are, ne? They own 400 Yadi Incredible Connection, 600 Yadi what bed shops. And so in total, you can already see that via that vehicle, via this investment, via this holding, a group of white guys can come together and all own 1,000 stores together. You see, and so that looks like it's a monopoly. It's one guy, one CEO who owns all of that. And in some cases it is. In some cases you find somebody who's extremely rich and pretty much owns the whole group by himself nationwide. It's a rare thing. It's an entirely rare thing. There's such. That's what white monopoly capital actually is. But then it's perceived that every white person is inside the network of ownership of land and direct access to an economy. That white people are all, you know, capable in every way, that they are not needing employment themselves, that they do not go through stress, that if you're white, your bills just get paid on time. Yes, there's the stats around white employment are there as well. They are very, very, very employed. Employment levels are extremely high for white people. But what is business ownership versus employment amongst white people? What is land ownership amongst the white people who are working? I mean, we live with some white people who are living in flats over here. When land is being taken, what do they have to give? Etc., etc. You know what I'm saying? So I spoke for so long that I even forgot where exactly I departed. Remind me in the chat, please. What was I saying? Maybe if I play this clip, I'll quickly remember. Wife walked in with the food. I am hungry. That's one of the problems.
since the beginning. But many white South Africans had the dangerous black president they'd been terrified of since the beginning. And that opened a space.
That's interesting.
It opened a space for white grifters to then go, we're in trouble now. They're coming for us. They're persecuting us. White economic empowerment, Bell Pottinger. All of this was fodder for white grifters to say, they're coming for us. We told you. We know the blacks were nice before this. We couldn't show that Thabo Mbeki was bad or Mandela was bad or Tutu was bad. But now things are objectively getting more
guilty of this, by the way. I think any... But you know where, let's say as black people, you're hanging out together, and you'll say something about a black person, let's say who's in power.
300.
So, you know, you go like, Jacob Zuma, this guy. And then you'll find someone will step into that fray.
The cutting software.
And they'll say something where you're like,
and good.
Say something, you know what I mean? You know, you'll be like, there's so much corruption. So they'll be like, yeah, but I mean, what do you expect? They like that. And you're like, who's they?
Yes.
So
well,
so are you saying a black person?
Yeah, no. What I'm saying,
black company.
What I'm saying is, what on the news or talking to Piers Morgan, even when they're going like, look, there might not be a genocide, but the crime.
Yes.
Crime has become a synonym for black.
Just like the community.
Same as corruption.
Yes, corruption is also a synonym for black.
The community,
Violent
the
crime.
townships.
Yes.
Like it's all wink nudge.
It's another way to say black.
Exactly. It's like the way that Black Lives Matter evolved into DEI, which they're now so obsessed with. It's code word, and it's usually code word for the K word or the N word.
Yeah.
Like
but it is though.
Yeah.
But can I just say, as a
don't trust them new niggas over there. Y'all remember Uncle Ruckus? Y'all remember Ike Kumal? While this conversation is being had, we covered him earlier. Let's just quickly catch up with him and hear what he's
They
got to
always
say.
say, let white people go. I can tell you, in South Africa, if all white people left this country, it should be like Zimbabwe. Within 2 minutes, sent in, the standard will drop instantly like this. Because you've seen the blueprint. All these countries where white people have left. Unfortunately, I have to say that all these countries, be it Mozambique, be it Zimbabwe, where white people have left, look at those countries. They always say, let white people go.
That's what's up. So, black people, crime, incompetence. There's a black man on the other side who's also helping spread this kind of narrative. The Ike Kumal, who has sold himself, it seems, to a billionaire who's renting mouths that can speak this kind of thing. You can see all the patterns of that guy. So, we are now gonna leave that for now. So we'll just leave that right there. Hope you like, hope you comment, hope you share, and you subscribe. And I'll be seeing you in the next one. And cut. Hey, baby. Baby. You're still there? Okay. I'm off. Yeah, Ike knows where his bread is buttered. We see him. But you can't talk when you're busy eating. When your mouth is full, you can't talk about what the real injustice is. Okay, you are out, ne? Okay. All right, go well. Be safe, babe. Yeah. So, let's check what the next video shall be. I have to just play something in the meantime and eat, bruh. So watch party, live reaction, DA press conference on their 48-hour ultimatum to the ANC. This one is brought by Ronaldo Ho. So we are live, bringing Ronaldo live to you. Let's hop in.
I hear you, Gavin, but I don't think it's necessarily just about the salary. I think that the DA, if they leave, they believe that they're going to show weakness, when in actual fact everybody is screaming for, and it is 76%
What's happening?
of people that says the DA will not be leaving the GNU today. All right, so that I'm going to end it now, and I'm going to start the next poll, which is your opinion. Do you want the DA to leave the GNU? And we're going to run that poll for the next 10 minutes.
The next broadcast will start shortly.
So they're starting. Okay, so by the way, while you do that, there's a countdown clock on the DA's YouTube channel. So it's 5 minutes. So I'll be switching over as soon.
Oh yeah, so we are live. We're about to catch this.
But I just want to get your take, please. So the previous one was whether you think.
Okay, let me lower the resolution. I think the internet is suffering. It's at 480 already.
The DA would do it, and this is what you want the DA to do.
Oh, his content comes at a frame rate of 60. That's why
and then if
it's
you
choppy.
have answered that, I've got a question for you. After seeing what
Yo,
the
let
DA
me
has
eat.
done over the last year, does the Freedom Front Plus look like a more attractive political party for you to potentially put your vote behind and support behind? Because after what Corne Mulder did with the entourage and with the delegation, the Afrikaner delegation, where they managed to get the United States to give 4 points that the government and the cabinet and pretty much, South Africa had to adhere to, that they managed to get that done. Not the South African entourage. And we see a very weak leader in John Steenhuisen that really honestly doesn't know what he's doing. And just to illustrate another point, John Steenhuisen became the Minister of Agriculture and he is the leader of the DA. Now, any sane individual would know that you cannot fulfill both roles and do it effectively and put 100% behind both roles. The Freedom Front Plus saw this and they said, okay, Oom Pieter Groenewald, thank you so much for the great work that you've done. You're going to stay as the minister and you're going to do the great work, but we're going to hand the leadership of the party over to somebody else so that you can focus on what you need to do and the leader of the Freedom Front Plus can focus on what he needs to do to grow the party. That is something the DA should have done, but the Freedom Front Plus knew that this was going to be an issue and they took the initiative. So I believe that based on what Dr. Corne Mulder got right in the United States and based on how the Freedom Front Plus is already looking forward, that is why I committed, I think it was, 2 days ago, that I committed that 2026, the Freedom Front Plus will get my vote. Because of that. Because of the fact the ones that are actually trying to do what is right for South Africa and not just stay in a GNU because, hey, we want to show South Africa that we can improve things when clearly the records show that they can't. The Rotten Pumpkin, thank you for becoming a voortsacker. He has a very, very nice hartjies for you if it will work. I don't know if my fingers are just like not... How should you make this heart? A fat heart, apparently. John Steenhuisen's heart, apparently. That's how you should make it. Erwin Witwain, thank you for the 35 Rand super chat saying, I want a motion of no confidence against the GNU, a general election. I have buyer's remorse and want to vote for a party who have a plan for this country. I fully agree with you. And thank you for the super chat, Erwin. It's greatly appreciated. All right, so the vote so far with 436 votes is, do you want the DA to leave the GNU? 80% of you are saying yes, and 20% of you are saying no. Well, let's find out.
Become a counselor.
Hey, yo, what's up? Back at you with another video. So, Ronaldo House is bringing us the DA's announcement on whether they'll be leaving the GNU or not. Do they have some kind of threats? Do they have some kind of balls? Do they have some kind of backbone? Ronaldo House says white people should now go towards the Freedom Front Plus because the DA is without a member. They have teeth that do not bite. So we are here listening to that.
Super geld terug. So even that guy was laughing. The DA leaving the GNU. He's probably watching my stream going, hey, that Ronaldo's crazy. If he thinks that the DA is going to leave. Sure. Okay. Bye, mense. Missing in action. Missing in action. Oh, we have almost as many views as what the DA has. Nice. So let me just mute the music while we're here. Be sure to vote in the poll and let me know your thoughts, because apparently the DA do not want to implement what their voters is asking for. Daar's nie 'n manier dat al daai boeke gelees is nie. No, I agree with you. This is, I believe, at the federal head office in Cape Town. I could be wrong, but I believe, yeah.
Noble Nitpicker, seems that GNU is proving to be destabilizing for the DA. Seems that GNU is proving to be destabilizing for the DA. I hope I read that right. I didn't hear myself read properly. And the DA will never leave. Let's see. Let's hear what they have to say.
I believe
do you want them to leave? Do you want them to stay?
Federal head office in Cape Town. Well, there's 4 minutes to go. I think this time they'll be on time. We need to crowdfund a massive PR machine to promote the Freedom Front Plus. Yeah, I think the Freedom Front Plus needs a massive boost on social media. They're not really visible on social media. And hopefully I can help with that. Let's see. Maybe we can get like-minded social media people and influencers together to just make people aware of what the Freedom Front Plus can offer. Because
y'all remember King said Floyd should use the same plan, and so Ronaldo is about to implement it or make it happen on this side. And I said that for the Black Party, such is not going to be the key. Rightly notes with their conservatism, it is their oldness that makes them be the way that they are. You know, liberation movements end their life as liberation movements. If they continue beyond that, a party like this one is kind of outliving its relevance among young Afrikaners. And of course, I think there's becoming fewer and fewer white people in the country as time goes. And because the Freedom Front is an Afrikaner party and not all white people speak Afrikaans, and because white people don't all agree, the Freedom Front finds itself in a little corner with a small amount of appeal for a certain people. And so they look and sound apartheidish. Aren't they the ones who are the NP? Isn't the Freedom Front the NP rebranded? And so as I was making an example earlier about liberation movements, if you look at the ANC or those who are in liberation mode still, like Floyd, it's difficult for them to reach people via social media like that. Would you say Jacob, an example that flies past and is contrary to what I'm saying? Did Jacob Zuma and MK get their support from social media? Or is it because of Zulu nationalism? Is it because of Jacob Zuma's personal brand that makes him relevant today? Would the Freedom Front be able to activate themselves online? Would Floyd Shivambu and his Maibuye Africa Pan-Africanist movement be able to reach Amaskirskir? Will Maibuye launch ads on TikTok Then get TikTok influencers to dance with a Maibuye banner in the background? How are they going to do it? Ronaldo might have a chance to do it because he's appealing to people who've got internet who are connected. Though they may be old, though they may be young, they all share ability to be connected online. Yeah? They just want to take their flirting to the next level. They're flirting with the ANC in the GNU. They're here to stay. They're here to continue, right? So yeah, man, that's my view. Ronaldo is about to put forth a strategy. He says 4 minutes to the staff.
They need to represent South Africa, and now is the time. Because if they can get a swing of 5, 6, or 7%, eating it directly out of the DA, that'll make a massive difference in local government. Because that means a couple of MMC positions for them, potentially a speaker position, potentially a mayoral position in some municipalities, where they can illustrate that they can do exactly what the DA is doing. It's really not hard to govern well. It's just following the law and adhering to what the law is saying. And unfortunately, governing badly is where you have to put in the effort to find the little loopholes and how you can steal money. It's not hard to govern well. You just need to follow, the local legislation and get a good city manager and get good administrative staff. That's all you need to do. Alvaran says, ek het daai een boek gelees, Live, Laugh, Lawsuits. Oh, shit. Futzoko, the DA one fan is in the house saying, if you are secretly a DA supporter. I want the DA to do... Jy moet 'n bietjie room op hy gesig sit. En, nee, sis man. Jy, oom, het jy gepoepie voor? Nee, oom, hoekom doen jy nou dit?
His dog speaks Afrikaans.
Shulay says, I vote DA not because of personalities, I vote for them because of their policies. A political party is not just one person. Yeah, and how is their policies doing at the moment, Shulays? Their policies are against the Bella Bill, against the expropriation bill, against NHI, and yet the Bella Bill is now implemented by Siviwe Garube, which is their minister. So how did that work out? Because remember, before the election, okay, let me just switch over, because as soon as there's people, they'll switch over. Here's the thing. A lot of people in their argument is now playing what the DA is feeding them, right? How can you expect that they should be against the Bella Act now and NHI and the Expropriation Act when this was elected and voted in the 6th administration? Do me a favor. Go and look at what the DA campaigned on for this election that passed. The DA in the election campaign said, stop the Bella Act. Or we will stop the Bella Bill. We will stop the Expropriation Bill. We will stop the NHI Bill. Why did they campaign on something that they knew they couldn't change then? So they blatantly lied to their voter base. That is what they're acknowledging. Anyway, here's some movement right now. Let's switch over. All I want to know is, are you leaving the GNU, yes or no? Just tell me.
Good afternoon, colleagues. Good afternoon, South Africa. My name is Karabo Kakao, DA National Spokesperson. Thank you so much for all availing yourselves for...
Is that my connection?
Today's press briefing. Leading the press briefing today on behalf of the Democratic Alliance is the Federal
Ronaldo's
leader
connection.
of the Democratic Alliance, that is John Steenhuisen, and then followed by the chairperson, federal chairperson of the Democratic Alliance, that is Dr. Ivan Meyer. We also have the chairperson of the Federal Council of the DA, that is Mayor Helen Ziller, as well as Willie Okamp, who's also one of our national spokespersons. So I won't give you anything to bite on yet. I'll give on to John to give us the address.
Thank you very much, Karabo, and greetings to watching at home. Thank you for making yourselves available, and I do promise that we will be finished in time to watch our mighty Springboks crush the Barbarians this afternoon.
Well, that's 2 hours from now.
My fellow South Africans and citizens, a year ago, the formation of the multi-party
Why is there no video?
now filled our country with enormous conflict for decades. Instead of one-party domination that had been known, the people chose something different. They wanted multi-party cooperation.
How many times are we going to hear the same story?
In short, the people of South Africa wanted to see things change. Based on this mandate of change, that the Democratic Alliance, after extensive introspection and inward discussion, made a decision to join the government of national unity.
Will you stay or will you go?
However, instead of upholding the wishes of the people by working in a collaborative manner with all parties inside of the GNU, the ANC has repeatedly undermined these principles. Time after time, it has slapped away the hand of cooperation and co-creation in favor of arrogant, narrow partisan party political interest. Right from the beginning, the statement of intent was violated by appointing a bloated executive without consulting the DA on the other parties that were to be joining, in order to give the ANC more influence than the voters wanted it to have. President Ramaphosa has since signed destructive pieces of legislation into law that have far-reaching consequences for our economy and economic growth, as has been seen by the reaction from some of our largest trading partners. This was done without even the common courtesy of